Hi, Cheryl, managing editor of Iguana Books.
Hi, Lee, editor at Iguana Books.
Let's say you're an author and you have a manuscript and you maybe have gone through the process of trying to find an agent, but you've decided for whatever reason that traditional publishing is either not working or is not for you. What are some of the reasons that an author would consider working with a hybrid publisher like Iguana Books? And what are some of the benefits and how does it all work? That's one big question.
Right. Well, I guess the advantage of going with a hybrid publisher is you're getting people who are book publishing professionals and know what process you should follow, what order you should do things in. If you get mired down with something, you have someone you can ask for advice. So a lot of it is you're paying for someone's expertise and you're going to get a more professional finished product, just because not everybody knows how to publish a book. It's not like we're all born knowing like you have to edit first and then you proofread and then you have to check for orphans and widows. Like, how are you going to know that if nobody tells you? So I definitely think unless you've done it before, it's helpful to have somebody's guidance, somebody to kind of hold your hand and tell you what comes next. And I think, I mean, if you want a professional looking finished product that people are going to pick up and maybe not even guess that it wasn't traditionally published, you really need a copy editor at the very least, ideally a proofreader to catch, because no one person is going to catch every error in a book. Even two people, you're still going to have a small number of errors remaining. So the more people you have going over it, the better the finished product is going to look, the more professional, and the fewer reviews you're going to get complaining about typos or spelling errors or whatever else. Having a wider distribution than what you can get on your own is helpful. And I know because we publish so many books per year, we get a higher immediate ranking on like Amazon, and our printer distributes everywhere, which if you go with something like Kindle Direct Publishing, you're only going to be on Amazon, and we can get you into, Apple Books and Barnes and Noble and Chapters Indigo if you're in Canada. And I think that can help make a difference with sales for sure. If you're more widely available, you're easier to find.
You've published your book with Iguana, you sell online. If you sell an ebook, you're earning about $4.99 or something per book. If you're selling a physical copy, you're earning a little less. It could be about $2.99. And then if you're selling in person, you're at an event, you're handing the book to someone, then it's really in your control because you've paid the minimum, price per book of approximately $10 per book. And if you sell it for 20, then you're making 10 per book. So if authors want to understand like how they can recoup their costs, selling in person is actually the best way.
You get about 45% of the cover price if you're selling for the full cover price yourself, because we only charge authors 45% of the cover price to buy books directly from us. And if you're selling online, you get 10% of the cover price with us, which is pretty good. Most traditional publishers, you get 1 or 2% of the cover price in royalties. And that's after you've earned out your advance. So you might never see any money if you don't earn out your advance. And with us, there is no advance, so you immediately start earning from sales.
I see us as being part of an ecosystem. The kind of book that we publish is often like slightly different. It might be a more personal memoir, but with relevance to, one city in Canada. For example, I'm thinking of one of our recent successful books is really everybody in that city bought it, right?
Everyone who's ever lived there.
Yeah.
Because everybody, like they all have a personal connection, and those are the books that seem to be the best these days, if people have a personal connection to it. And our model kind of, the longer your book, the higher the cost, which I think a lot of people need to be aware of, because sometimes I'll get an incredibly long book and I really want to publish it, but I'm like, if you don't cut this in half, it's going to cost thousands of dollars for you to publish it, and you're never going to make that money back. So it's like it can be difficult at times because I see something that's so great and I'm like, I want to just put this out, and it has like 1,000 little drawings and it's adorable and beautiful, but it's going to cost you like $10,000.
Right.
And that's just not viable. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse.
What is the need to limit the number of words or the number of illustrations, all of it? Like
All of it. It's kind of like you can have this amazing book and I think it will sell, but I don't think it's going to sell, enough copies to justify whatever this cost might be. So it's hard for me sometimes, honestly, to be like, I need to charge money for this.
yeah,
Publish it,
but it's just going to be really expensive. So to me, that's a useful moment to kind of pause and say to potential authors, like the message here is tighten your book as much as possible. And this is good writing advice as well.
Absolutely. Yes.